Hello, this is the Reverend Naomi King. I'm a Unitarian Universalist minister who teaches spiritual practices in person and digitally. So today I wanted to spend a little time talking with you about taking a digital Sabbath. Sabbath keeping is a big set of practices that a person can engage that is found in Judaism and it has moved into Christianity as well. And it is something that it's a framework that has been really helpful to me in terms of thinking about limiting the amount of screen time and limiting social media as distraction. So on the Sabbath, we put aside our work and we just create this space to just to be with the holy, to be with our hearts, to be with one another, to be with this amazing planet that we live on, just to be. We might worship, we might study wisdom, we might just breathe in the shade of a tree. That kind of spaciousness is missing from many of our lives. The larger culture and the economic and political systems that I live in really encourages people to be busy, to be overscheduled, to prove their worthiness by busyness, to prove that they deserve dignity by being busy. Now, depending on our religious tradition, or if we have none at all, that setting apart of sacred time may fall on a different day of the week. And we might be very, very worried about losing connection with our contacts, with our community in the social media world. We might be very, very worried about not knowing what's happening in the world, in the news, not having instant updates on things. And part of setting aside the time to let that go is to be happier and more engaged when we come back, to be grateful for having that connectivity, and also to give us the space to really get in tune with our hearts. When we have a constant flood of information, it's extremely difficult to really know how we're feeling and to have intention with how we respond to how we're feeling, how we act in the world. We might become extremely reactive. We might not be thinking about how what we're saying is hurting someone else. We might not be thinking about what we're doing as hurting ourselves. We might not even be considering how we are in the world as hurting this world in which we live and on which we depend. Creating a little bit of space gives us time for reflection. It gives us time also to do some healing from the wounds that we may have picked up during the week. Some of those might be self-inflicted. Some of those might be inflicted by others. Those are the little things, the microaggressions that can occur where our experiences might be dismissed. Our sense of being real people might be diminished. I just get tired going out into the world and hearing constant derogatory stream against LGBTQIA people. I get tired dealing with racism. It's just part of the fact we have to live with it and we have to deal with it until there isn't any more racism. It's going to be part of the fabric of our lives. We have to deal with classism. We have to deal with ableism. I get hurt over the course of a week when I can't go visit people because their buildings were built so people like me using wheelchairs can't get in, where I can't connect with people because we don't have the means to work past and find each other past what their abilities are and what my abilities are. So there's a weariness that can happen when we're constantly busy, and having a space of rest really opens our hearts up again for healing. So those are some of the reasons why I keep Sabbath. And with the digital Sabbath, I will, of course, like any spiritual practice, I will break it if I feel that there is a great enough urgency. Now, that urgency is typically not going to be because I want to connect with other people because I'm bored. It's going to be because there's a major crisis going on in the world. I have people in my larger community reaching out to me to find out what's going on. Or individuals are having deep crises where their lives are extremely diminished or at risk. And at those points, I will come back in and engage social media. But otherwise, after a certain time in the afternoon on Fridays, typically, I put down the devices and I don't pick them back up again until after dark on Saturday or on Sunday, and sometimes not even until Monday. That has brought my own challenges. I ran up against feeling like I needed to know everything. Well, the fact is, I can't know everything. You can't know everything. Even if you sat on a social media feed 24/7, you would not be able to know everything. So part of developing discernment is, what do we actually need to know? When we come back after a digital Sabbath, we can spend a little time reviewing our feeds to seek out what's persistent. What did we really need to know that's coming forward after our time away? We don't need to make a big deal about going on digital Sabbath and like telling people, oh, we're setting aside this time, other than your immediate circle. You might want to let those folks know, or how to be in contact with you other than through the social media. We just do it, and then we come back. And part of this is also developing trust that there are lots of people and resources out there, and because we are all different, we are not going to take the same time off, the same time away, the same hours of the week. Because we live in different time zones and around the world, and because we are from different cultures, and we have different practices spiritually. So there will always be someone of good heart who can connect and who can be there with everyone else who is of good heart, who's on social media at that moment. And then once our hearts are renewed, we can come back and offer back to social media what we've been able to fill up in our own wells. I hope that you have a wonderful week and that you take the time to set aside space to heal, and space to be, and space to dwell in awe and wonder and generosity. Space to dwell in thanksgiving, and space to just be still. We all need that. And then when you come back, we'll be very happy to have you. Have a blessed day.